My goodness. I'm all tangled up. Okay. I think these are tunis. I found these skeins of yarn. They look like they were cloud spun, or it's a Gulf Coast native fleece, and I am blending it with Tencel fiber, and the fleece is dyed, the Tencel is not. So I'll have 6 color repeats for my second ply, and I have the 1 color repeat for the first ply. Hey guys, it's Kim here with Fairily Fiber Fun. Thanks for joining me on episode 43. Today I will be sharing with you what I managed to accomplish in the month of September, including a few knits, some spinning, fiber prep, loom unloading, and talk about my plans for October. Before we get into it, I would like to give you a very warm welcome. If you are a new viewer, welcome to my channel, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, and don't forget to leave your comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. It is a little bit early in the morning on Wednesday, October 2nd. I am running behind on getting everything done. So let's jump in with what my goals are or were for the month of September and what I managed to accomplish. So I have 3 main goals. The first one was to finish making the advent calendar Rolags, and if you are new and you haven't heard about it yet, I am making 12 days of desserts advent calendar for December, and it is Rolags, and it's a lot of fun. It's my first advent calendar. Each colorway based off of the orders. Each colorway is 12 blending board fulls, which is around 12 ounces total, and so it's taking quite a while to do, as you can well imagine. So I was supposed to have these halfway done by the end of September and all the way by the end of August, and all the way done by the end of September, and I have 4.5 sets done, and that's colorways, so out of the 12. So yeah, also had an advent calendar that I was supposed to get halfway done in September, custom advent, excuse me, and I haven't started on it. I have the fiber, that's about it. I have the photo inspiration, and I will be sharing all of that with you guys as I make it, but it's really, really far behind. I'm over a month and a half behind, so life. We will get to that at the end. So goal number 2 was to get my floor loom completely emptied, which required unweaving a huge section of about 7 feet of fabric and taking the warp off the loom and all of that, and getting the loom back over to my mom's, giving it to her. It was my Aunt Dorothy's, and I wanted it. I thought I could use it, but weaving kills my back in a way that nothing else does. So I decided it was not wise to take up space and energy with a loom that I cannot use. Unfortunately, I have my rigid heddle back now, and I can use that periodically. It takes up very little space, but the big loom is now at my mom's, and I'm in the process of untangling warp yarns. So when I pulled off the sections from the loom, I braided it all up in a crochet chain just to keep everything neat and organized. And as I go through, I separate each strand into these little balls here, and then I'm splicing them together. That's the process. And then I have one skein. This is the weft yarn. I spliced the ends together. This felts very easily, so it's perfect. So I am splicing the ends and making 400-yard skeins. My skein winder is set to the 2-yard size, so I just wrap 200 times around it, and that makes a big skein. These will be washed before I send them back because I am spit splicing and I don't want my germs going to someone else. So these will get washed. And the yarn will be reusable, which is fantastic. So the goal was to get that all the way done and the yarn shipped back. Out of that goal, obviously I've not finished, but I did get the loom to my mom's, and I was finally able to do that. I was actually supposed to get the loom to my mom's beginning of September, and I got it there on the 29th. But I had a really good reason for the last week delay, because it was supposed to go over on Friday and instead it went over on Sunday, and that's because all the roads were blocked with downed trees due to hurricane. I don't know if it's Hurricane Helen or Helena. There's an E at the end. It's weird. So we're fine. We lost power. That's it. We're good. But I couldn't get to my mom's on Friday, so I had to wait until Sunday, and then I was able to get to her house. We were kind of on the outskirts of the storm. We had really bad wind. I live in a very solidly built apartment, and it was creaking in the wind, and I've never heard that before. So I think the wind gusts were around 60-70 miles an hour. It was insane. And then our power went out because a tree fell on the line just down the road. In fact, there were a lot of trees on power lines. It took 13 hours to get our power back. I was able to cook because I have a gas stove. The kids could shower because we had hot water. We have a gas hot water heater. So we weren't as negatively affected by the power outage as a lot of people are. My mom has a generator, so she was okay. Oh, but there's a lot of people that are still out of power. If you've been watching the news, you probably heard all about it. So that's the end of hurricane chatter, and you'll have to excuse my morning voice. I have done very little talking this morning. I just dropped the kids off at school, and it's not even, it's just now like 7:30. So I'm struggling just a little bit with my voice coming online here. My third goal for September was to do a bunch of rearranging and organizing in my room, and the part of the living room kitchen that is the laundry room is really small, just enough room for a washer and dryer. It's a little corner that's cut into the living room a little bit, and it's right by the back door. The laundry room, I've had a really big shelf. It's actually right behind the camera now. And I had an extra dresser in here. I had the loom over here. I'm going to show you a picture of what it looks like right now. I actually sat here this morning drinking my coffee and enjoying the Christmas light ambiance on my shelf, which used to be turned against the back wall, and it barely fit between the end of the bed and that wall. So I'm really happy to have the loom out of here, so I have a little more space at the foot of my bed. I have a crafting cabinet in here that is now my felting cabinet. Mainly, I took all my sewing stuff to my mom's, and I will be sewing over there with her help when I get to it. And then I have one dresser for my clothes, and the other dresser is now in the laundry room area, replacing the big standing shelf that I had built to go over the tumbler years ago. The tumbler is no longer living in my home. It's living at a friend's house. So this has just really freed up a lot of space in my bedroom. It's helped me to organize stuff better, and it's still a work in progress, but it's coming along. So I was hoping to have all of that done by the middle of the month, or by my birthday, which was September 21st. And it wasn't. My mom went on vacation and didn't get back until after that, and I didn't get the loom emptied until after that. But as soon as I was able to, I got the loom in my car, and it sat there for the whole weekend. So once the loom was out of the way, then I was able to do all the rearranging, and that was a lot of work. And so I wasn't able to do any filming or any actual work because, you know, that took all of my energy and time and mental space. So I'm just happy it's done. I'm delighted it's done, and my mom is happy to have the loom. She wanted it. So all's well, you know. So out of my big goals for September, I'm not even halfway there, but such is life. So what I have been doing, and we're going to hop into some knitting here. I will have to show you a couple of things in grayscale because they are gifts and I don't want to ruin it. So the recipients know what they're getting, but they don't know what colors. So most of my knitting energy has gone into the super secret Christmas project, which I am going to bundle up here and just show you. It's really big. Grayscale. Okay. So that is knit on 2.75 millimeter needles, which is US 2. And I am knitting it with very fine lace yarn and mohair held together, and it is taking absolutely forever. It's huge. So my Ko-fi supporters are following the journey. So if you are interested in knowing what that project is and how it's coming along, how it started, all of that, my progress, head on over to Ko-fi and consider becoming a member over there. I have more to tell you about that in just a moment, but I am uploading videos to Ko-fi that share the progress from start to finish of this project, and that includes blending the fibers and spinning them. So these are all new videos that I'm filming as I go, so they will come out probably one a month until I get the project finished, which will hopefully be by the end of November, but it's taking forever. Before I can do the next part of the project, I probably have a good 10-12 inches left to knit. It's okay. It'll happen as it happens. If it's not done before Christmas, it'll be a New Year's project or whatever. Anyway, so at Christmas time or around Christmas time, I will do the grand reveal on the YouTube channel, and you can see it then. But if you want to see what's going on before that, head on over to Ko-fi and consider becoming a monthly supporter. And that leads me into the segue of Ko-fi. We'll just take a moment to talk about it. I have opened monthly fiber subscriptions on Ko-fi. One is for a 2 to 2.5 ounce bat. It'll be whatever size they come out on my drum carder. I can do 2 to 4 ounces depending on how densely I pack it and what type of fibers I'm using. So on average, it's usually around 2.5 ounces. So and that right now is a mystery. I don't have a plan at the moment. This was supposed to start in January 2025, but I thought, why not go ahead? And I made another one for 4 ounce dyed braid of combed top. So I have my first subscriber already. Thank you so much, Maribeth. You're amazing. She was already a Ko-fi supporter and she just switched tiers. It was super easy to do. Um, so, and she is getting a different combed top every month. I just sent her first one out after the hurricane. I was ready to send those out right before the hurricane hit, and then I was like, I'm not going to risk getting lost in transport with the weather the way it is. So I just waited until after the hurricane and then I shipped it out. So that is on its way, and she gets one of the Hocus Pocus themed braids, which we will be talking about here shortly because I'm spinning one. But that was her first subscription. Starting in January, I will have themes for the whole year or for a few months at a time. And I will be announcing those on Ko-fi and hopefully here on the channel. And I will be taking y'all along on the dyeing, the carding, whatever I remember to film. So you will see what the Ko-fi subscribers, monthly subscribers, are getting. And it is very exciting for me. I have tried to do fiber clubs and stuff before, and it's really confusing because on Shopify, the automatic subscriptions don't happen. You have to literally go in and pay each month. And that was just a pain for my fiber club people. So this way you just sign up for it and you get a package every month. And that's easy. So if that sounds like your jam, head on over to Ko-fi and check out those 2 tiers. And moving on. So back to knitting, now that we have finished our Ko-fi segue. And we're going back to grayscale because these are gifts. I have knit. I'm not doing a sock scrap down video because I've been gift knitting and I only knit 2 pair of socks this month. That's it. God, if you heard that, I'm so embarrassed. That was my stomach. Okay. The first pair, they're really pretty. This was a I'll share all about it in the reveal video. So this is one gift. This is another gift. It is 2 socks. So those are the ones I finished. And now I can show you the colors because this one, this is the next sock I started. These are all my hand-dyed yarns from years and years ago. I'm ready to start the heel flap. I hate the heel flap. I don't know why, but I just detest it. I think it's just monotonous. It's not stockinette. Okay, and then yesterday, October 2nd, October 1st, today's the 2nd, I cast on, this is technically not September, but it was before I filmed this, so it works. I cast on another one. My goodness. I'm all tangled up. Okay. So I worked on this in the car yesterday while waiting on children to get out of school, to get out of work, stuff like that. So that's the start of another gift, and I'm okay with that. It's not the progress I wanted, but I'm okay with it. And that's all the knitting I've done. I haven't touched the camisole. I haven't touched my blanket that I want to get back to. And I have about 1 million ideas of projects that I want to knit. I have so many ideas. I'm like, I can't work on anything because I can't get any of them done. That's ridiculous. Anyway. So, for spinning, I actually completed a spin. And I'm really happy with it, but I have to blend the rest of the wool in this color. I dyed a fleece in 3 different colors, and I used one. I am blending, it's a Gulf Coast native fleece, and I am blending it with tencel fiber, and the fleece is dyed, the tencel is not. And so I'm doing a 60-40 blend, 60% wool and 40% tencel. It is showing up really blue on camera it's a little more green. It's kind of a minty green. It's really pretty. I like it. It's shimmery and shiny because it is got so much tinsel in it, but it is lace weight. So it took me a while. It took me a month and a half, I think, 2 months to spin this, something like that. So I've got 908 yards and I need more than that because I have to hold it double. So I need at least 800 yards for the top that I want to do, but it's double, so it's 1600 yards. So I've got a little tag on here, little tag with the information. This thing soaked up water when I put it in for its bath. The water just like disappeared and I had to add more. A tinsel is very absorbent, by the way. So this will become a little tank top or t-shirt or something. We'll see how much yarn I have and what pattern strikes my fancy. So that is the spinning that I accomplished, and then I am prepared to start spinning because we are running the Spookalong craft along in the Facebook group, and my main project is a fractal spin that I'm taking you guys along on because I've had a lot of people ask, how do you do a fractal spin? So I have a braid of my new fiber, which YouTube will not allow me to connect that product to the store, probably because the title is I Smell Children. So I'll have it linked in the comment and the show notes. Right above the word link, there will be the product link. So here is the half of the braid. So this is the single colorway. I will spin this end to end. This is half a width of the fiber. So I do the whole colorway once, and then the other half I've split into 6 of these little nests, and they are the same length, but they are very, very skinny. So I'll have 6 color repeats for my second ply, and I have the 1 color repeat for the first ply, and hopefully that'll work out really well. I'm excited to get that started, hopefully today, but we'll see how much time I have with everything else I have. I'm trying to play catch up, and the mental space has not been here. So I also did some blending on the hackle and some more blending on the drum carder for the Christmas project, which again, you can watch those over on Ko-fi. So far, only one of them has made it over there because I can't edit right now. So it just is what it is. But I did take some of the colors, and this is a little bit of a reveal, but not much because it isn't true. But I decided to turn a little bit of the hackle waist into pumpkins. So here is one of the bats that I made for pumpkins, for felting. And then I have a few other colors that I had carded up from Mystery Zoo Wool. So I've got this orange and this orange. And when I hold them together, you can tell it's very washed out. Like, this is a bit darker, this is a bit brighter. This was like pumpkin spice, and this is orange peel or something like that. And then I have decided I wanted to do some green and some purple. So hopefully I'll be able to start working on those like this week, next week, something like that. And get some pumpkins to show you. But I had an idea that I'm not going to share. I'm just going to reveal it when it comes. When it happens, because I'm super excited. I have changed my mind about the pumpkins. I'm doing something even cuter. It will be pumpkin-ish. Pumpkin-esque? Something. Anyway, I'm excited. The friends that I've shared this idea with are going crazy over it. So I'm really excited. But we'll see. That's not the top priority. It needs to happen, but it isn't high priority. So we'll see what happens. So the big spin for October is the Spookalong spin. It won't take very long because it is not a lace weight and it's only 4 ounces. Oh, I didn't tell you, this yarn is 7 ounces. That's why it took so long to spin. It is a 2-ply, very, very fine. And the video is ready to edit. So I did film the making of this, and I just haven't gotten around to editing. So one of the reasons that I got way behind is, well, it's all about stress. So near the beginning of September, there was a school shooting in about an hour away from us, give or take hour and 15 minutes, I think. But our schools really increased security, and they really started cracking down on what the kids were talking about, joking about, etc. They really cracked down on any form of bullying, and they actually arrested a few kids. They started charging children with terroristic threats and taking that very, very seriously. And it did impact my children, although in a very small way, but it was enough to get their attention. So I had some stuff to deal with. It was very stressful. I thought my child was going to jail. It was not fun. I'm just blessed that he didn't. So, and that's all I'm going to say on that. But that was an emotional blow for me. When I heard about it, I was immediately devastated. And I'm talking about the shooting that happened. And when I read some of the interviews, I spent a day crying because it was horrible. And I don't handle things like that very well because I am very strong empath and I feel it. I feel the trauma, I feel the loss, I feel the horror, and so I can't turn that off. So I was swamped with emotion, very, very strong emotion, and then scared to death my kid was going to go to juvie. Good thing that happened from that is that some bullying that he has experienced was stopped, and I think things have settled down now. My kids have certainly settled down and things are going so much better, but the whole month was just really, really stressful. And then I can't edit videos when I don't have a good mental space. If I'm depressed, if I'm too emotional, if I'm too negative, I don't want to bring that energy to my YouTube channel, and it's really hard to edit. All I could do was edit shorts because I didn't have to do anything really, just little bits and pieces of 30-second videos. I could edit those and get them on my phone and then turn them into YouTube shorts or reels or whatever I wanted to do. So that was about the extent of the editing that I did towards the end of September. Before that, I had videos already made that I could fall back on, but I've now run out of those. So my goal of having all the videos filmed through the end of the year by the end of October is not going to happen. And then right when I was feeling better and ready to do a last week push to get as much done as I could to get as caught up as possible, then the hurricane hit and we lost power, and it was like the kids were out of school for 5 days, including the weekend. So they were out Thursday and Friday and Monday, and I was like, that's it. Nothing's going to happen. So we played games, we had fun, we spent a lot of time with family, and in fact, that's what we did on my birthday too. So I had a really nice birthday. I took a day and just played board games and card games with my kids, and we played Mario Kart on my daughter's Switch, and it was just so much fun. Such a good family day, and that was the best birthday ever. So that was the good part of the month, and then the hurricane hit right when I was ready to do a big push and get everything done, and then I was rearranging and everything. So that's why I am at least a month and a half behind on everything. I was sick most of September due to the stress. My tongue has canker sores all over it. They're healing now. So I've had to increase my self-care routine. I've got some new supplements to help with the canker sores, and I'm going to the gym to help my body process and be more active. And life has settled down, so I'm less stressed, and it's been a rough month, but I am doing okay, and it's great to be feeling better, and it's great to be getting back on track and doing things. I did things all through September, but not the amount of things that I had hoped to do and what I really needed to do, because I was supposed to ship the advent calendar this week. And now that's been pushed to the end of October. As long as I get it done by the end of October, we'll be okay. So that leads me into plans for October. I'm just checking to make sure I showed everything with you, and I haven't, because when I was rearranging, I think these are tunis. I found these skeins of yarn. They look like they were cloud spun or spun. Yeah, they look like they were cloud spun. It's either tunis or one of the Gulf Coast Tessel crosses. It's just old. I don't even know how old. It's many years old. So these are ready to ply. Oh, it says tunis right there. Tunis. These are tunis. I must have spun these from Cloud because they are a mess. They are an absolute textured mess. So I found these. I will eventually get them plied up. I'm not worried about it. But that was interesting to find these when I was rearranging and cleaning. They've been hiding from me for years. Like, we're talking 4 to 6 years. So that was a neat little treasure to find. I also found some more sock yarn, so I will be filming a segment in the scrap down where I have to add those in to my totals. Plus, I did some knitting and have scraps left over from those gift knits, so I'll be adding those. I've already added them into the spreadsheet, but I need to film that part. So we'll see what happens with that. My big goals for October, since we are in October now, is to knit this pair of socks, which this is only one of the colors. This is the last required, 100% required gift knit. If I get to the other two, like if I can finish this one and knit the other pair, great. If not, it's not a big deal. So I will try to get everything done, but I've had to back way off because I'm overwhelmed. The Christmas knit is super important, and I'm working on it like crazy, but it also is not top priority. I want it to be, but it doesn't have to be. Finishing up these yarns and getting them shipped out this month is a priority. I've had this stuff for over a year, and it's way past time to return it. I also have to finish the advent calendar, and the custom advent needs to be shipped in November. So my latest on that, the custom advent is going to somewhere near Atlanta, so it'll be there like a day or two after I ship it. So I can actually ship it after Thanksgiving. It'll still get there. No, I need to ship it before Thanksgiving. As long as I ship it by mid-November, it'll get there before Christmas. So it'll probably take 4 days to get there with the holiday shipping and everything. So that's the main goals for October. Where am I at? Ah, the end of the page, the end of the notes. So I have more that I want to do, like I've got to spin this, I've got to spin more yarn for the Christmas project, because I'm going to run out way before I'm done knitting, and in order to finish the project, I have to spin more yarn. So as soon as I'm done with this fractal spin, I will get to the other one, and it's probably going to be lace weight. I might not. I might do it thicker for a different part of the project. But I was going to hold lace weight double. Why go through that trouble if I can just spin it thicker? It's less work all the way around, and it'll get me the gauge I need. We'll see. We'll see how far the current skein gets me and go from there. So that is, I have a bunch of needle felting I need to do. I wanted to get back to tatting the pumpkin earrings. That's not going to happen. I might get some Christmas earrings tatted. We shall see. Right now, tatting is not important at all. That's something I'm going to do only when I really want to, and then I'll work on whatever I want to work on. And I've started playing around with plans for next year, but that is also topic for another video. I am hoping we don't have any more bad hurricanes that affect us this far from the coast. We are really close to the North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee border, so we're not in the direct path of any hurricanes at all. In fact, Atlanta got much worse damages than we did, and Spartanburg, South Carolina got a lot worse damages. I have friends that won't have power until Friday, which is probably when this video goes out. So that's when their power is supposed to be restored. We'll see. Depends on how quickly the technicians can get repairs done. They're working around the clock. I do want to give a shout out to all of the crews that are out there working to clear roads and repair downed power lines and get power restored as quickly as possible. They are working very hard, and they are not being thanked anywhere near enough, and I really appreciate them. I'm getting daily email updates from our internet provider as well, and they are expecting to be fully restored by Friday, but I think a lot of that depends on the extent of flooding and how quickly that clears out, because some things can't be restored areas if there's too much flooding. It's just not possible, and that's understandable. So my heart goes out to all the families who lost loved ones, who lost their homes, their pets. There's a lot of damages. There's a lot of destruction. It's terrible. My heart goes out to every one of them. And I appreciate everybody who stepped up to the plate and is helping. And I've seen there's a lot of fundraisers. Please be very careful when you are contributing to a charity or a fundraiser or something. There are a lot of scams out there, and I just want you to be cautious that the money is going where you want it to go and not into somebody's pocket. Okay, so that is all for today. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. I hope October is a far better month for everybody. And I hope to get back on track and start cranking out videos again. We'll hopefully get to do some editing, a lot of editing this week, so you guys can continue to watch content, but please know that I am struggling to get caught up, and my mental and physical health is priority right now, as it is for a lot of people. And if I'm a little slow getting videos out, it is nothing for you to be worried about. I am going to let you guys go here with this little bit of encouragement. I hope and I pray that as you face the trials and storms of the days, that you are able to challenge yourself to rise above them and become more than they would determine for you to be. So, I hope y'all have a fantastic day and week, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.